Jeff, there's a guy out there that we don't really talk about here on this show a lot. His name is Quinn Ewers. You and I were actually on a show when he announced he was transferring or leaving school early, leaving high school early to come to Ohio State. We all had some very interesting, specific emotions, literally, about that decision for Quinn Ewers to come to Ohio State. And then when he decided to transfer from Columbus, go down to Texas, we had some more emotions that filled us because we are fans. Yes, we're podcasters. We talk into a microphone, but we are fans. Jeff, I'm going to make a statement. I'm curious if you agree or disagree. Quinn Ewers leaving Ohio State when he did set Ohio State back after Stroud went to the NFL.
Oh, yes. I would consider a huge, so it was always two things. We did the show that night. I said right then and there, Quinn Ewers was going to wind up at Texas. There was no doubt in my mind. He was only going to be at Ohio State for a year. But I also said I didn't necessarily want him to leave. I didn't say he was a bad player. I thought he was going to be a really good player. I wanted to keep him. I just never thought we would. So it didn't upset me as much as it could have. Now, going back to last year, if you watch what Quinn Ewers did at Texas and watch what McCord did at Ohio State, that's when you really realize that, there is nobody on earth that can't tell me that Quinn Ewers wasn't worth. All we needed was one more touchdown, Jay.
Correct.
You can't tell me that Quinn Ewers couldn't have got one more touchdown with Marvin Harrison. That's probably a guy who, he's where he's going to go in the draft is set, but that's a guy that probably gave up a lot when Ewers left, for last year. And Gbuka was the same way. Ewers is light years better than McCord was or is. And it definitely did. It definitely made us fight through a year. You know what I mean? It was such a struggle to get through last year as to where when you saw Ewers playing at his best last year, it was unbelievable. I thought there was times, and I still think that he's probably going to be the first player off the board, this next spring, out of Texas. It was surprising that he stayed a year. In my opinion, this year he would have went third at least. I think he would have jumped Penix. He's light years better than McCarthy. He probably wouldn't have jumped Drake May, but there'd be the talk. Right now, they'd be arguing Drake May or Ewers, so stuff like that. So, but it definitely did. It's hard to say that it left us on a down season when we lost one game that really counted, but it did, and it was disappointing. He has good things to say about Ohio State, which is awesome. Yeah. It doesn't sound like it was bitter. It was just all part of the plan. Texas got a good one. He figured it out, and this kid's everybody's got to remember, he skipped these high school seasons. He's only 3 years out of when he would have graduated. So this is still a young kid in his fourth year. What a find for the NFL that's going to get a 4-year starter, but at a 3-year age. So
Jeff, when I think about, it's great for him. When I think about him, if he would have stayed at Ohio State, he could have easily had that Haskins 1 year, not one hit wonder, but one hit wow, where he is coming in after a phenomenal quarterback in Stroud. Because I don't think he would have beat out Stroud during Stroud's final year to be QB1. I don't think that would have been possible. But all of a sudden, he gets there. He's a starting quarterback a year ago. McCord may be on campus, but he's not starting. But what do you find? Ewers with last year's offense? Bro, you're looking at a guy that's throwing 42 to 4,500 passing yards, 40-plus passing touchdowns, and Ryan Day, as Ryan Day is calling the plays. Yeah. And I know he's being coached down there in the South by Steve Sarkisian, who is a great offensive mind, great quarterback coach, and all of those things there. But, man, he could have come in and been a Buckeye legend. And then Ryan Day would still have a quarterback competition this year, but also he has another guy under his belt, a guy under his belt. 1 year starter, blew up, NFL, top 5, top 3, top 2 pick. Think about if he has 2 years in a row of top 2 picks at quarterback. Man, that raises up the level of quarterback you can get at the high school level.
And what if Ewers stays this year like he is in Texas? Now we're in the second year of Quinn Ewers. I'd take Quinn Ewers right now. Without even the blink of an eye. Now, I watched a lot of Quinn Ewers last year because Texas was good, and he is phenomenal. He is a fantastic football player. He's everything. He's better than people think, but he kind of changed a lot of personal stuff in his life after his second year, and so he became a more low key player, a less vocal player. So then he was just less interesting than Shedeur Sanders or these other guys. And so kind of under the radar. Like how good he played was amazing. Like he was phenomenal. And think about 2 years ago, he has Alabama on the ropes until he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like he played really good second and third year. And like you said, it would have been easily that he wouldn't have been playing Alabama that week, at Ohio State. He'd been playing Northern Illinois or whoever it was. Yeah, I'd have been happy to keep him. He would have fit right in. It'd be a different history right now. I mean, assuming he stays healthy and, all of these things, but, it's very interesting how he's tied to Ohio State, but he's not a guy. Don't worry, any Texas fans out there. Nobody's claiming him if he wins a championship next year. None of that. It was just like, cool year. Thanks for stopping by. Wish you the best unless it's against us, kind of thing. Definitely be wishing you the best in a couple weeks in the next season, right? I mean, a lot of Quinn Ewers fans early part of next season. If people know what I'm talking about, I'm sure they do. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's another thing about the modern college football. We're talking about a guy that could have went to the NFL and is now staying. I assume he's, on the big board as the best player in the country, as far as the draft goes and things like that. There's not a lot of downside to the kid, especially when NFL wise. But, yeah, it is interesting. And we got kind of the Dollar General Quinn Ewers last year at Ohio State, and it caught up with us. I mean, that's just the truth. He was the same type of player, but 60% of it. I mean, that's you'll see it this year. Everybody, you know what? Everybody feel free to compare Quinn Ewers to Kyle McCord all season. Let's do that as a fan base, just as a side project. Everybody compare those two quarterbacks next year, and you all see what I'm talking about and what could have been.
Jeff, that Dollar General Quinn Ewers thing, that's hey.
I apologize. It's almost football season. Competition's got to start. Here's the thing. I want to say I love Dollar General. This isn't smiting Dollar General, but everything's about 60% of the quality of what it is. If you go buy it off the shelf. I go there all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with some. I never have some Dollar General peanuts, but they ain't Planters. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So,
hey, bro, my mom taught me at a young age, especially hit it more to me when I was an adult. Hey, these Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, these stores that you may think they ain't got nothing but junk. You can get some good stuff in there for cheap. If you
exactly. There you go.
The right thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I know what he means when he says Dollar General Quinn Ewers, but also if you want some cleaning supplies, go hit up Dollar General. No, I'll go to Dollar Tree for that. I go to Dollar Tree. If you want something quick, hey, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, they got what you need. Now, all jokes aside, Jeff, this is interesting because I think Ryan Day may have learned a lesson previously, but also a couple of years later, hindsight's always 20/20. Ryan Day may handle that Quinn Ewers situation a lot different if it happens in the upcoming offseason or in the upcoming or in the fall or 2 falls from now than he did previously. I really think that's a learning process and a learning period for Ryan Day.
Well, something we haven't talked about, the same thing that got Quinn Ewers out of high school was money. Like he'll say that. I'm not making this up. Like that's a thing. Well, guess what Ohio State didn't do a couple years ago that they're doing now? They didn't go for the NIL money. They didn't have all the resources. They didn't have the plan, and they lost Ewers. And then this year they're like, okay, we need to catch up. Like our brand isn't going to be enough. Like we gotta, come up with a conglomerate and get everybody organized and be able to offer these kids what they're able to make, at other locations. And that's absolutely one of the reasons Ewers left. He had all kinds of money sitting there in Texas. And again, I'm not blaming Ewers for leaving, but I'm saying if it's a year like this, and we're coming up and he knows he's got a championship caliber team coming back. Like Quinn Ewers is on there last year, they're ranked number. I mean, look what they were anyway. But now, like, let's say, the local car dealership can offer, $2 million. Well, now it might look different. We don't know that Quinn Ewers in the Buckeye. And also, we don't know that Ohio State didn't help. Like he's admitted that being in Ohio State, that quarterback room that year at Ohio State helped him. We don't even know how much that helped him grow going to Texas and what kind of product we sent down there. Like if you want to get a guy that's basically skipped his senior year of high school and what he did that senior year was be in the Ohio State quarterback room with CJ Stroud and Ryan Day. Well, boy, Sarkisian got a winner right there. So, that was a huge upside, I'm sure, when Ewers went there. But I would hope that Day now would do. I don't know, maybe he'd handle it different. Maybe he couldn't handle it different. I mean, we'll really never know the inside story unless somebody gives it to us. But obviously, coming off last year, again, we'll just say 2 losses just to be official, but 1 loss, and having a quarterback that played decent and that close to, beating the team up north and going back to the playoffs and all that, he's like, okay, that's not enough. Day 1 of the portal, quarterback leaves. Like, things are a little different now. You know what I mean? He ain't hanging on like he was, and now they got hopefully a quarterback room full of potential, and we'll see how it goes.
These YouTube exclusives, this is the first one we're doing. This will come up down the road again. But when Jeff and I had a topic to talk about that didn't fit the space of the normal show, we got to bring it to YouTube. It is exclusively here. Y'all, if you want more of this, hop on the YouTube comment section. Not only let us know what you think, but also let us know what topics you want YouTube exclusive videos on. That's Jeff Hunt. I am Jay Stevens, Locked on Buckeyes.